Greetings, friends, and welcome to the woods. I want to continue talking a little bit about how to get rid of the psychic parasites that that occasionally bother some of us. Some of us have had them for a long time. Some of us, it just occasionally pops up and tries to be an issue. Did you know that there are spiritual schools that make it a habit of luring the parasites in so that they can eat them? Let's not talk about that right now. I think that's out of the scope of our current exchange. What we want to talk about right now is if you have this issue, if you know somebody who does, how do you get rid of them? We talked about revoking their permission, their welcome, revoking it. We've talked about the need to bring in something that is good for us when you pull out the hook of the parasite. You want to put something in that space that's desirable to you, something that really meets your needs right now, something that you love or you believe in or works for you, so that the parasite doesn't come back and reattach right where it left off. So you revoke it, you get rid of it, you bring something else in, and you smooth over your aura and you smooth over. Now, for most of us, the aura has already been repaired. Um, a parasite can come in when you've quested out, it follows you back and opportunistically attempts to create a space for itself within you. Maybe you don't even realize that you picked it up. Maybe you don't have a discipline that teaches you that at the end of a spiritual question, you need to dust yourself off. You need to check yourself for psychic ticks and make sure that nothing's attached. It's possible that you picked up a parasite when you had a drug experience. It could be something as mundane as alcohol or cannabis. Although I have to say, and hear me on this one, cannabis is a grounder. So people who know how to use it in that capacity correctly, where it's pure cannabis and hasn't been mixed with a lot of other things and hasn't been bred to be super high in THC to the point of beyond the beyond, the original homegrown, normal, organic cannabis can ground you and keep away the parasites. Keep you at this level and keep away what could be a parasite on you. So it's actually a tool for assisting with that. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to find untampered with, healthy cannabis, healthy organic cannabis. But it is possible to use it in that fashion. But there are people who blow holes in their aura and in their different energy systems. They're the organs of their body that correspond to their astral and etheric bodies. Just like you have, your heart that pumps your blood through your body, and it has a very specific function. You have the heart chakra, heart energy center, that feeds your manifestation on the astral body, part of your astral body, and your etheric body, which is held, it's connected to your physical, keeps your physical alive, brings down energy from a higher source, comes down to manifest the physical form, okay? But you have organs on those various bodies that you need to have function correctly to maintain good health, to maintain good emotional and mental health. The astral corresponds a lot to our emotional well-being, and the etheric responds strongly to our mental well-being. And to keep those organized and going the way that we want them to go, function correctly, so that it's all in harmony, you need to keep those bodies healthy as well. And when you take certain drug types, you can make the energy flowing through you more congested or faster and more excited and much more erratic. And in some cases, with repeated use, and for some sensitives, sometimes it only takes once, you can blow holes in the organs of your astral and etheric body that take time to heal. And when that happens, it can affect you for the short term, sometimes for the rest of your life, if you do not learn how to heal those different systems, those different energy systems. That's how they work. We all have natural protections in place. And sometimes we have unnatural protections in place, things that our ancestors, our parents, our friends, our pastor, whoever might have stuck on us, or maybe we did through our fear, where we've clouded things up. And by taking a substance, some of those clouds could be cleared off. I'm not advocating you do it. There's a whole school of how to correctly interface with psychoactive substances in a way that's not harmful. But it takes discipline, and it takes understanding, and it takes a willingness to learn. It takes a lot of preparation. It's not a willy-nilly thing. And when we get into this, especially if you get into it with the specific desire to, and I'm going to use the street term, get fucked up. It's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to hurt yourself. You could hurt yourself for a long time. You could hurt yourself in a way that it will take a hell of a lot of strong activity on a spiritual level and a physical level to come back from. So it's something you have to be real careful about. And most people, when they decide to party, because that's what our society refers to it as, party. When they decide to party, really their only intention is just to relax and get out of the mundane physical reality for a little while. And sometimes they don't realize the price. We don't realize the price for pain by doing that. So, if you blow holes in your aura, especially if it's significant parts of your being, parasites can come in. Just like if you damage your brain, or you damage your heart, or you damage your throat, you can get infections. They can kill you. And the psychic parasite is just that sort of infection. And maybe it can't be seen on a physical level, but as we start developing our ability to see beyond just this dimensional reality, as more of us can do that, we'll start to see, oh look, my friend has a parasitic attachment. Oh look, it's infected them, and that's why they're having trouble with, that's why they have brain fog. That's why, because, oh look, it's got everything all tangled and twisted. Let's see if we can sort that out. More of us are going to be able to see that and understand what we're really looking at. Most psychoactive drugs, most of them, 90% of the people who take them don't become addicted. It's that 10% who do, and there's no real knowing if you're part of the 10% until you're caught in the trap. The exception is tobacco. Not pure tobacco, but the adulterated, I don't even know if you can call it tobacco, what they use in cigarettes and some cigars now. I think probably also in the vapes, but let's not talk about that. We'll be here all day. That's the exception. With cigarettes, 90% of the people who try it become addicted, and the 10% who don't. I don't know why that's the turnaround, but, and with cannabis, 90% of the people who use it aren't strongly affected, but the 10%, there's 10% who go psychotic. That's the one that's that 10% that gives it the reputation for being very dangerous. And for those 10%, it is. Whatever you're the 10% for, and our society talks about the addictive personality. Simplification. I might be the 10% when it comes to opiates, but I can take all the other drugs and not be a problem. My friend can take the opiates, but he could be part of the 10% for the speedy drugs. You don't know until you try. But a lot of those are just shortcuts to getting us where we really want to be naturally. And if you start using another substance to get you there, it's going to take longer and be harder for you to get there naturally, utilizing your innate spiritual abilities, which you can use to get to the same spaces without the price to your body or your spirit, or taking the risk of losing time, resources, a part of yourself, your energy, to the parasites who can come in. There is a lot to use of medicines and drugs. It's a whole school in itself. It's something we're going to have to get more mature about as we move into the Aquarian age. It is a product of the Piscean age. It's a product of what the farmers have seeded into us, that we are so flippant or unconscious about what we do with these very powerful tools. Something to think about, and welcome to the woods.